I think that's the first time I actually like orgasm. Love her for that.
How was it?
And I've never met a man who knew that much of what he was doing with his mouth. And I was on the floor shaking. I came every night.
You
multiple times a night. So I'm gonna tell you the oddest thing that I've done, and this isn't a fucking secret, but I pissed in someone's mouth, and in turn they pissed in my mouth. I know, right? It was an experience for sure, but definitely not something that I'm willing to do again. I actually had a friend, she dated a guy and they tried anal, and he, like, after that, that's all he wanted. Like,
he's gay.
He was gay, literally, after, so she cheated on him, but, like, I don't blame her, because, like, he wasn't even fucking her. He just wanted her to, like, play with his ass. Weird shit, right? So she cheated, he found out, they broke up, and then, like, 2 months later, he's, like, with a guy. I wouldn't say it's hard to please a woman. You just have to know the woman. This is actually a conversation I had before. I had this conversation with a guy, and I was like, you know, I feel like it's the same with a man. Like, you have to know what pleases him, what turns him on, and what he likes. Which the guy argued. He was like, no, for a man, you just got touches. You know, you just got a certain motion, and you'll get us there. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I felt like, personally, like, say, for instance, you're giving a guy head. Every man is not going to like getting head the same way. Or maybe they do, but I just don't feel like that's the case. Because for women, they definitely don't all like it the same way. So, I don't know. How do you feel? People who are really hurt are the ones who are like, you would never fucking know something's wrong with them. Usually they're like the star of the show. They're happy. They're like, when they come around, people, it's like, oh, the life of the party's here. Like, you know it's going to be a good time. But honestly, the whole time, that person is dealing with some shit. The people who sit around, and I'm not going to say this is for everyone, but the people who sit around and sulk in those feelings, I wouldn't say that they are truly like in a dark space, as dark as it could be, you know? Because when you are that hurt, you don't want people to know that you feel the way you feel. Being a man does not mean that you are in control of everything. You're not. You have a partner for a reason. You work that out together. You come together, you bring two minds together, and you say, this is what we're doing. If you have an issue, or if I have an issue, then we'll sort it out. But you have no more responsibility than the woman has, and the woman has no more responsibility than you have, unless that is how you like for your relationship to be. Me personally, no, because you're not telling me what to do and how to do it, and I'm not going to do that either. I feel like there's a respect thing there. There are boundaries, and once you're in a relationship, those should have already been established. I feel like a woman can definitely manipulate any situation to, you know, fit her scenario, just based off of being a woman, especially if she's an attractive woman. She can do whatever she wants to do, and a lot of people aren't going to question it. But unfortunately, not everyone has that, you know, right or privilege. Women are complicated. A lot of their actions are based off of emotion. You do have women who will sit back and think about something, and maybe it's just that they're overthinkers, so they're fearing, like, if I tell this man X, Y, and Z, then it's going to be too much for him, which could, again, go back into the trauma. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I would never want to be with a virgin again.
Why?
There's an emotional thing there.
What do you mean?
I feel like it's a thing. Like, you have emotions for this person. You're always going to remember them. Like, this is the first person I had sex with. We shared these experiences, you know, stuff like that.
On your part or their part?
Their part. And I don't want to be that person.
And this is the Quicky Sidebar Talk.
I do like to cuddle. Everyone likes to cuddle.
No, I don't.
You don't like to cuddle?
No.
Oh, you're a psychopath. You have to be.
No. What's so good about cuddling?
What do you mean? You feel warm? You feel secure?
No,
also?
I'm already warm by myself. It's hot.
Oh, God.
Get your space, please.
Oh, are you serious right now? You don't like cuddling?
No, I don't.
Well, that's unfortunate. But I do feel like, I mean, you just feel warm and secure. You're cuddling with your person. You're close. I mean, that's how I feel. And then, I mean, it could be an anxiety thing. Who knows?
Maybe.
It's like,
Maybe.
You know, a person as a weighted blanket. But I cannot get behind weighted blankets. Those are treacherous. I felt trapped. I tried one.
Really?
Yeah. It was too much. I mean, it was only 25 pounds, but still. It was way too much. Trauma with men and women, and you know how it can make you toxic. I mean, it can make you toxic. It puts you into this pattern because you're now traumatized. So in your head, every time you come like across a situation that's what's the word I'm looking for? It seems like it's like a reoccurring situation. Either way it goes, you're familiar with it, And so it can be a trigger. That's the word I was looking for. It triggers you, and you go back to these patterns because you haven't dealt with your trauma, which it's not okay, but it's very common. It's common in men. It's common in women. I mean, it's common in children. But a lot of people just don't speak on it because it's scary to deal with things like that. It's very scary. It puts you in a place where you're fearing things that aren't even real. So nobody wants to deal with that. But it should be dealt with. I feel like everyone should go to therapy.
Have you gone to therapy before?
I've gone to therapy so many times. I need to go back right now.
What type of drama are you dealing with right now?
What type of drama?
Your trauma.
Trauma?
Yeah.
I mean, we all have trauma. Mine specifically, some of it's come from relationships. Some of it's come from, like, my childhood. So my mother was actually murdered. And don't drop your mouth. But she was. And that's a traumatizing experience. I talk on it now. It took me a long time to get to that place. But it's just something that you have to deal with every day. And that's something with trauma. Like, it doesn't just go away. Like, you can talk on it, you can learn how to deal with it, you can learn how to cope with it and, maneuver in ways where you're not stuck in that place of fear or anxiety. But it doesn't go away. You just learn how to cope with it.
Your mom was murdered. How was it, though? If you don't mind
how was she
sharing.
Murdered?
Yeah.
It was blunt force trauma. We don't know exactly what happened or how it happened. But, yeah.
How old were you when that happened?
About 3 years ago.
Wow, that's recent. I'm so
very
sorry.
Recent. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I mean, that's just, it's a part, I'm not going to say it's a part of life, but it is a part of life because it's my life, and people deal with things like this, and you never would have known that just meeting me. And if you meet someone else, you don't know what they're dealing with. So when you're sitting here saying, like, well, people are toxic or they deal with trauma, well, yeah, people deal with shit that they just don't speak on. Who is good at hiding trauma? People who are really hurt.
How do you know that, though?
Because I've been really hurt. People who are really hurt are the ones who are like, you would never fucking know something's wrong with them. Usually they're like the star of the show. They're happy. They're like, when they come around, people's like, oh, the life of the party's here. Like, it's going to be a good time. But honestly, the whole time, that person is dealing with some shit. The people who sit around, and I'm not going to say this is for everyone, but the people who sit around and sulk in those feelings, I wouldn't say that they are truly like in a dark space, as dark as it could be, because when you are that hurt, you don't want people to know that you feel the way you feel. You don't want people to see that on you. It's not fun. It's not an experience that you want anyone to endure.
What type of trauma have you dealt with or are you dealing with?
Currently?
Current or past?
Past? I mean, in relationships or what?
Anything, life in general. Let's say a relationship. Let's start with that.
I dated a guy who was very manipulative. We started dating, and he was just like the coolest person ever, honestly. And I still think he's a cool guy. Like, he could be, potentially, but just not for me. I don't know, he just kind of catered to everything that I wanted. And we ended up staying together for a really long time, but then after we were officially dating and, we moved in together, he turned into a complete stranger, which is scary, because you've known this person for so long. Long enough to move in with the person, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, who the fuck am I sitting here with? And it was almost like he secluded me from friends and family. And it's not something that I realized because I'm thinking like, oh, you want me to be here with you. You want to spend time with me. But yeah, that's something. And then constant lying, stuff like that, manipulation.
What type of manipulations, though? Give us an example.
Manipulation to the point where I thought if I posted a picture on social media that I was doing something wrong. Like, I'm seeking attention. I want someone to look at me. I'm, looking for people to contact me. That's what it was. It wasn't like, oh, she just has a social media. She feels cute. And, at first I said this person was catering to everything I wanted. So I'm like, they're calling me beautiful. They're like, oh, you're great. You're funny. Whatever. All the compliments everyone wants to hear.
That was before you guys moving in.
Yes. Afterwards, it was like, you posted a picture online, you're a whore, you want someone to come over here and talk to you, you're cheating. The whole time it was honestly because he was insecure and he knew that he was cheating. So he, had that on him where he's like, well, if I'm doing it, what the fuck is she doing? Well, she's not doing shit. she wasn't at the time. But yeah, it was just stuff.
Is
like
that why you don't have social media anymore?
That's a part of the reason. Yeah, I let go of all of it because I thought if I didn't have it, it would be better. Like the relationship would be better, and he wouldn't feel like I was doing these things. And I mean, honestly, I started to believe like if I'm posting a picture that I want attention or I want someone to look at me in a type of way. Like I started to believe that stuff because that's what narcissists do. That's what manipulation does to you. But I mean, I know now it's not true. It's just I don't really care for it too much. I don't feel like posting online is going to do anything for me. Like what the fuck does that do? The people who need to know, they know where I'm at, they know what I'm doing, and I feel like that's all enough.
How long y'all stayed together?
We stayed together for about 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And honestly, it wasn't until like everything was over where I was like, okay, yeah, that was a lot, and now I have to deal with it. Because during, I'm like, I just want to fix this, I want to fix this, I want to fix this, but I'm not fucking Bob the Builder. So, left the hammer in the toolbox where it was and went on about my life.
So would you say whatever you dealt with your ex kind of reflect into or has an impact into your new relationship or next relationship?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, dealing with anyone, it could even be a stranger on the side of the street that you meet, can affect how you move in your day-to-day life, depending on, what they say to you or how they interact with you. All of that can change you as a person. I think so. I think that's how we grow as people, actually, is every interaction that we have, every conversation that we have, we're constantly evolving as people, learning and adapting and changing our thoughts and perspectives and seeing new things or disregarding new things and being like, hey, fuck that, this is what I want. And to that I say, you are a very small-minded person. You should always be open. But yeah, I think that's definitely takes a part in how you move in your next relationship. It helps you see like different signs or look at people in a way, which isn't to say that everyone's going to treat you that way or do things to you like that, but you'll be more aware, and you may be even more cautious of how you move or how much you trust someone, all because of how this one person treated you, and dealing with that, going back to the trauma and dealing with that trauma, it can be hard going into a new relationship, but I wouldn't let it discourage anyone from going into a new relationship. You just have to be open. And that's just with life in general. You have to be open. You can't say, well, I crashed my car yesterday, so I'm never going to drive again. Like, what do you mean? Get over it. You're alive, you're breathing, you're well. We learn, we're more cautious, we look out, and we just keep going. That's life.
You say you are bisexual, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean?
What do you mean? What does that mean? It means I don't discriminate. I mean, I don't discriminate against what parts you have, what gender you are. Like, what do you mean?
So you date both?
I date men and women, yeah.
Men and women. Wait, does it count you being bisexual dating lesbian too?
Do I date lesbians or am I lesbian?
No, would you date someone who's a lesbian?
Yeah, I would f the shit out of a lesbian.
Oh, would you date a gay man?
Probably not.
Okay. Actually, gay men, they don't even date women, so.
Yeah.
Scratch that.
Would he date me?
Yeah, that's a good question. If you're dating a woman, do you guys have to come to an agreement? I'm going to act like the man in a relationship, or you going to act like a man? Because when you date a man, there's a different type of hierarchy of responsibilities as a man and as a woman.
No.
I'm just saying, in society in general.
Oh, well, fuck society. Absolutely the fuck not. We come together as a partnership and we work this shit out. And it's the same if you're with a woman or if you're with a man. Being a man does not mean that you are in control of everything. You're not. You have a partner for a reason. You work that shit out together. You come together, you bring two minds together and you say, this is what we're doing. If you have an issue or if I have an issue, then we'll sort it out. But you have no more responsibility than the woman has, and the woman has no more responsibility than you have, unless that is how you like for your relationship to be. Me personally, no, because you're not telling me what to do and how to do it, and I'm not going to do that either. I feel like there's a respect thing there. There are boundaries, and once you're in a relationship, those should have already been established. You know what I'm saying? And so like if I'm doing this, my partner's not going to like it, so I'm not going to do that. If I'm doing, whatever, and if it's something that you feel like you shouldn't be doing, honestly, you just probably shouldn't be fucking doing it. But as far as like housework or working or paying bills, I feel like there's no like 80-20 or 50-50. It's like you give what you got. And if you can't pick up the rest, say you have 90% and I have 10%, or you have 10% and I have 90%. Okay, well then I'll pick up what you don't have. Like, what do you mean? And it's the same with a woman. I don't expect for any woman to be a man because she is a woman, and that's why I appreciate her.
Yeah, the reason I say that because there's always the head of the family. You know, usually when you go, you apply for a house or you find an application, they always ask who's the head of the family.
Head of household.
Head of household. They don't put two people. There's one person in there. So in your relationship, let's say if you have one or if you get married, so how you gonna go by it?
I feel like that's just something that you would discuss with your partner, whether it be a man or a woman. You know, are you comfortable with this? How would you like to go about this? That way we are both on the same page. As I don't feel like it's assumed that the man would do that. And if it is assumed, well.
So you look at your man as your equal, pretty much.
I do.
Okay. Do you believe men and women are equals?
Yeah.
As far as?
I feel like as humans, we're all equal. I don't feel like gender has anything to do with it. You breathe, I breathe. You bleed, I bleed. What's the difference?
Yeah, but there's so many components besides like us breathing, you know?
Go forward. Explain.
So, for example, I don't think men and women have the same strength. I don't think men and women in general, men are taller than women in general. So those things does not make us the same already. And the way like we both control our emotions are not the same.
I would say that the emotional aspect is definitely a thing, and it can be an issue. But as far as strength and height and stuff like that, what does that have to do with how we pay our bills? What does that have to do with how we run our household? Absolutely nothing.
But the original question was, do you think men and women are the same?
I do. I think we're equals. My answer's not going to change.
No. I'm not trying to change your answer. But in your answer, I think maybe you're looking at a different aspect, right, of life. Maybe when it comes to bills, things of the nature, is how you're looking at it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. But I don't think men and women are equal.
You don't?
I don't think we're equal. We're totally different. Yeah, we're totally different. Like, our mindset, the way we move in society, even our body parts, the way we look, there's so many things like that does not make us equal. But when it comes to like our rights, we do not have the same rights.
No, this is true.
Especially like if you go to different countries, because if you have to talk about America, I think women have more right than men.
What makes you say that?
Yeah, because do you know any rights that a man has that a woman doesn't?
Typically, in this, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a right, but it's definitely a privilege. Typically, in work, men get paid more.
Can you prove it?
Can I prove? We can look it up.
Where are you gonna look it up? That one, to be honest with you, I cannot prove it because I never done a study on it. I heard that a lot. People been saying that a lot. I heard that, but
I definitely feel like men have a better, like they're more privileged than women. Depending on the scenario, of course. So, say you're out at a bar, of course, a woman is going to have the higher hand. She's going to get everything for free, and the man is going to be paying, right? But if you walk into a business room as a man or a woman, the man is going to get more respect than the woman. That's what I see. Now, can she, make her place and earn that respect? Yeah, absolutely. But the man is going to walk in there and he's not going to have to earn that. He's just going to get it.
You say he's not going to earn that?
He's not going to have to earn it because he's a man. So they're going to look at him with more respect than a woman walking in. If a woman walks into a room full of men and she tells those men what to do, they are not going to be too keen on that. And they're probably going to look at her and be like, oh, all right, whatever. But if she proves herself and shows him, like, you're going to listen to me, then yeah, they're going to listen. But if a man walks in there and he says, hey, this is what the we're doing, they're going to be like, hey, that's what the boss said.
Would you say men have more privileges than women?
Would I say that they have more privileges?
No, I'm saying, would you say that? Yeah.
Not necessarily. I think it depends on the scenario.
Is it 50-50? No, just let's say, if you just have to say in general, do you think women have more privileges than men or men?
In what aspect of life?
Everything. Let's just say in general. Let's say you take all the aspects, you put them together, which gender will have more?
I would love to say women, but honestly, I would say men. Okay. I feel like a woman can definitely manipulate any situation to, fit her scenario just based off of being a woman, especially if she's an attractive woman. She can do whatever she wants to do. And a lot of people aren't going to question it. But unfortunately, not everyone has that, right or privilege.
Have you heard of pretty privilege?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I think it's a real thing.
Is it a real thing?
Yeah.
That's happened to you before?
Has it happened to me? Probably, yeah. I would say that I've been in some scenarios where I probably shouldn't have gotten away with the things that I did, but I did.
Have you heard of handsome privilege for men?
No. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I just thought about it. Seems like you guys have it. We don't have it.
I feel like it is a thing for men, though.
Yeah, I think it only works on women.
You think so?
Let's say I am a bouncer
Yeah.
at the club. I don't care how pretty you look, nigga. You gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but for a woman,
depends, because you have people like, well, I don't know, because that would like play into fame, right? Because you have a famous person come in, or like someone who does videos or something like that. They come in and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you can come in, but it could be a handsome guy, but that's also going to bring money and revenue to the club because, well, this celebrity's here, so everyone else wants to be here, you know. So I guess it wouldn't necessarily be.
That's an exception, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
wouldn't
but if
necessarily
you talk
be based
about
off of
regular people like
his
me,
looks.
yeah, I'm gonna pay, man. They're gonna make me pay. So when have you decided to become bisexual? When you felt like, oh, dang, I like women too? Was it like, has it always been like that? Or was it like one day you just decided?
When I was in 4th grade, yeah, I had a teacher. I'm not going to say her name. But she was fine as shit, and she had the fattest ass. And, yeah, I think I kind of figured it out then. And if it wasn't then, I would say middle school, when I would just watch, have you ever heard of the cheer movie called Bring It On? I would watch it repeatedly because Gabrielle Union is just like one of the baddest bitches in the world. And I wanted to f the shit out of her. So, yeah, I know you're like, what? But yeah, I think I've known for a while. But I will say I didn't accept it. I did not accept it. So I tried like saying, oh, you know, whatever. I just like men. Women are just pretty. But in relationships, even though I would be with a man, I would always kind of wander off to a woman and be more intrigued with women, more excited, more pleased. So
More excited, more pleased by a woman. So do you tell the men that you date that you like women too,
Yeah.
up front?
yeah, for sure. It's never a secret. It's nothing to hide.
Okay. So have you ever been in a relationship with a man but still seeing a woman?
Yes.
Did you?
Actually, it was the other way around. I was with a woman seeing a man.
So both of them knew?
Eventually.
So you started cheating first. That's cheating though.
It wasn't cheating. It wasn't cheating. Okay, so when you say relationship, it wasn't necessarily like we were talking. Okay?
Talking stage.
So we weren't. Yeah, we were like dating, but we weren't like in all like inclusive relationship. Like we weren't just seeing
Right.
each other. You know, like it wasn't restricted to that. We hadn't spoke on anything like that. Now, had the other person mentioned like this is where we are, then I would have considered it, but it was never mentioned. And eventually, you know, and I was honest. I told him like, hey, like I'm seeing this person or I'm doing that. And neither of them seemed to have any issues with it up until the point that they found out I was f***ing both of them. And then it was an issue. But like, did you think we were just getting together and playing f***ing patty cake? Like, what did you think was going on all of these nights that I was seeing other people, like be f***ing for real? So that was an issue, but like I said, I was honest.
So let's say you're dating a man, you see another woman that you like. Will you be open for threesome with your man?
No.
No?
No.
All right. So I'm trying to make it make sense.
Okay.
So you okay to date other women when you seeing a man? Can that man also see other women when seeing you at the same time you seeing other women too?
I mean, if we're not like in a relationship, if we're just talking, I feel like there are different stages to like getting up to a relationship. So say we're talking or we're dating and we're not just seeing each other, like we haven't come to that point.
Yeah.
Like we're still experiencing other people, we're still talking to other people. Then I could give a f less what you do, honestly, because I can't tell you what to do. There's no room there for me to do that. Now, if we get to a point where it's like, hey, it's just you and me, and this is what we're doing, then no, you're not talking to anybody else. We have already discussed this. Why are you even coming to me acting like you don't know what we talked about? I'm gonna look at you like you're stupid, honestly.
So, but if you guys are dating for, seriously, you can still see other girls, but he cannot see.
I'm not saying that.
Can you see other girls if you guys
No.
are like? No?
And I feel like if you're dating someone with intentions of going future or having something long lasting together, then you wouldn't be showing other people interest.
So you bisexual by cases?
No.
Because what I'm trying to get is like, let's say you dating a man right now. You guys have like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Are you still going to see other women?
No, because we are dating.
Okay, I see.
Unless it's been discussed.
And you do the same thing if you are seeing a woman.
Yeah, I'm strictly with that woman. Like if we're together, we're together, you know?
Okay.
But there are different cases. Like if you sit down and you talk and you're like, hey, I feel like we could open up our relationship, or I wouldn't mind if you talk to other people, or seeing a man or seeing a woman, whatever. Now, if we have that discussion, then I mean, like it's free game. But if we don't, and it's not something that my partner is comfortable with, I'm not going to go do it because I wouldn't want to hurt them.
When you sleep with a woman, do you them or you get
Both.
Okay, do both.
Yeah.
Have you met somebody that you have to do only one?
I mean, I feel like you don't have to do anything. The only thing I got to do is stay black and die. But, but I find pleasure in pleasing a woman. So
More than pleasing a man?
Yeah, actually. So there's never been a scenario where I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I've always, had my fun too.
Do you find pleasure having intercourse with a man?
Depends on the man.
Depends on the man. But you prefer more having a sexual act with a woman than a man? Is that what you prefer
I do,
more?
Actually.
So you're more into a woman sexually than a man?
Yes.
How was your first interaction sexually with a woman on the bed? How was it the first one? How old were you?
To be honest with you, how old was I?
Yeah.
I think I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's recent.
Yeah, that's not recent.
Kind of recent.
I was 21 or 20. Yeah. So, and it was the absolute best time of my life.
Oh,
Yeah. It was, honestly, I would call her today. I'd call her today and be like, hey, what are you doing? I think that's the first time I actually orgasm. Love her for that.
How was it?
She came over to stay the night. We were on the couch and, watching a movie, Netflix and chill type shit. Same thing with the man, went from there and it was great. She didn't need anything but her mouth.
Okay. She did that to you and she made you orgasm. And you did the same thing to her?
Yes.
Okay. So basically that's all you guys did all night. Licking each other in the vagina.
I mean, there was other stuff involved.
Like what?
She used a strap, which honestly I don't really care for that. It's not something
She used it on you?
Yeah, but I'm not too big into that. It's like whatever.
Okay.
She didn't really need to do that. That girl knew what the she was doing with her mouth, and that's all. That was it. That's all it took. And I've never met a man who knew that much of what he was doing with his mouth.
Have you ever got orgasm with a man?
Once. And it was not by penetration. And it took him a good 45 minutes.
To give a head?
Yeah, and honestly, after the first 10 minutes, I was over it. Because I was like, what the are you doing?
Yeah, you tough then.
But I mean, he just kept reapproaching and trying again. So, and I didn't want to be a bitch. So I was like, I'm just going to let him try. Eventually, he got me there. But like I said, with the female, it took her all of 3.5 seconds. And I was on the floor shaking. So.
Oh, shit. Was it a guy you were dating or just,
Yeah, it was the guy I was dating.
Okay.
For a few years, actually. 3 years.
Damn, the whole 3 years he only made you come one time?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm pretty sure you were touching yourself, right?
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
My vibrators were tired of me. I was tired of them.
Damn. So it's kind of hard to please a woman, it seems like it.
I wouldn't say it's hard to please a woman. You just have to know the woman. This is actually a conversation I had before. I had this conversation with a guy, and I was like, I feel like it's the same with a man. Like, you have to know what pleases him, what turns him on, and what he likes. Which the guy argued. He was like, no, for a man, you just got touches. You just got a certain motion, and you'll get us there. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I felt like personally, say, for instance, you're giving a guy head. Every man is not going to like getting head the same way. Or maybe they do, but I just don't feel like that's the case. Because for women, they definitely don't all like it the same way. So, I don't know. How do you feel?
For a man, it's super easy.
This is what I was told.
Yeah, because you might give me head, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's cool, though. But the thing is, once I put my penis inside, I'm getting my nut. I'm going to nut regardless.
Seriously, so it doesn't matter.
So
nothing matters.
Yeah, nothing really matters. You can't just be like, you don't need to live and like me.
Such simple creatures.
Dead
if
ass.
I can put it in, we're good.
If I can put it in,
yeah.
Myself, I am in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nutty.
You're the baddest in the world right now.
You don't need to move. You don't even need to do anything.
Oh God.
I'm nutty regardless.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why it's so simple for a man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to feel like I have connection with you to have sex with you.
Yeah.
I don't even need to remember your name.
Yeah.
I don't need none of that.
Yeah.
All I need is just be willing to give me that.
So do you think women are the same way?
Women are not the same way.
You don't think so?
No. A woman can like you super bad, but they won't sleep with you.
Depends on the woman.
No.
I know a few women who will just to
Talking in general for majority of women. A woman might think that this guy's cute, I like him, or blah, the vibe is cool, but I'm not him on the first day. But a man will easily do that if you allow him to do it. Most men, not all.
Yeah.
But most will do that. So for women, it's kind of hard, especially women, like you say, you barely reach your orgasm. But we do, for the most part. So it's kind of hard for women. It's like, and you mentioned something. You say it's not that hard to please a woman, but you just have to learn the woman.
Yeah.
Yes. But most women decide not to tell you what they like or what they don't like. They'll just be quiet. They want you to figure this out. And they'll be the ones telling you that, yeah, men are not good in communication.
No, that's true. You have a very good point. A lot of women are that way.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
I'm not, but a lot of women are that way. And I don't know, what that stems from. I don't know if it's just like confrontation or what. Maybe it's like they're just not that sexual, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Educated or comfortable?
I mean, yeah,
free
but to be comfortable, you have to be educated, I assume. But it could be a lot of things. Women are complicated. A lot of their actions are based off of emotion. You do have women who will sit back and think about something, and maybe it's just that they're overthinkers. So they're fearing, like, if I tell this man X, Y, and Z, then it's going to be too much for him, which could, again, go back into the trauma. You know what I'm saying? It could just be a thing with society where you look at it and say, well, women aren't the ones who come into the bedroom and say, this is what I want and this is what we're doing. The man comes into the bedroom and says, this is what the we're doing. But some women like stuff like that. They don't want to be in control. You do have women who are more aggressive in the bedroom, but
I heard that when a woman is into you physically, you don't need to do much. She just gonna free herself mentally and she'll easily just orgasm because she's so attractive to you. She's connected with you mentally as well. So you don't need to do those ABC extra things on the side. Once they see you, they just melt. They feel the connection. They feel the body, the vibe. Is that true?
I would say that's true emotionally. I wouldn't say so much for physically, because you can be physically attracted to anybody. But if you're emotionally connected to that person, that means you trust them. You're not afraid. You're just going to be open. You're going to give them yourself and your body. But if you don't have that connection, you're just kind of there.
That's true. How many relationships have you been with a woman?
With a woman? 5.
What was the longest one?
The longest one? About 3 years.
So you did the whole 3 years. You were a virgin, huh?
No, she was fucking the shit out of me.
That's how we see it. That's how I personally see it. If you get a woman, I'm like, yeah, she's a virgin. That's cool.
No, she was fucking the shit out of me. I wasn't a virgin. I came every night.
You came every night?
Every night.
You come
multiple times a night.
I mean, she was using a dildo. You guys got to understand, a man will use his penis.
Yeah.
Which sometimes when we ejaculate, it goes down. We need to get it back up again. Someone using a dildo, the dildo works non-stop.
It does. It's great.
So it's not the same thing, though. It's not the same thing.
No, it's better. There's
so
no
you like
downtime. You get to pick everything right down to the color, the shape, and the size that you want.
What was your favorite color? Black?
Mine? Purple.
See, that shit's fake already. There ain't no purple out here.
It's fun. It glows in
Besides
the dark.
Prince.
Glows in the dark. It's fun, whatever.
So you have that home, huh?
Do I have one at home?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do we get in the butt? Hassle?
Me? No.
Okay.
Don't on my ass, bro. That's weird. That's some weird shit. Like, don't. Honestly, I've heard some people say that anal is just like the best ever. For me personally, I'm not with that. Yeah,
I never heard anybody say it's the best.
No, I've heard a woman, like, she was telling everyone, like, you have to try this. Like, this is what it is. This is life right here. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad you really enjoyed that. But personally, don't touch my ass. Don't do that. I've done some shit for sure.
Oh, like what?
But, like, what? So I'm going to tell you the oddest thing that I've done. And this isn't a fucking secret, but I pissed in someone's mouth. And in turn, they pissed in my mouth. I know, right? It was an experience for sure. But definitely not something that I'm willing to do again. And I'm the type of person, I tell everybody, I have a try it 3 times, and if by the 3rd time I still don't like it, I'm not going to do it again. But I will definitely try it 3 times before saying, hey, this isn't it. It only took me once. And I was like, nah, we're really cool on that.
How was it? Was it a man or a woman?
It was a man.
So can you rewind it? How was it? Like you guys were having sex and then you just decided to do it?
Well, he asked. He made sure I was comfortable. Kudos to him. Because if he would have just pissed on my mouth, honestly, I probably would have drop kicked his ass. But he asked, and I was like, "Are you sure? Like, you want me to piss in your mouth?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay." Asked again. He was still sure, so I did it. And then afterwards, he was like, "Well, do you want to try it?" And at that point, I'm like, "Well, we've already, I've already did it to you, whatever." And so we did it. 10-10. Don't recommend. Wouldn't do that shit again. But hey, whatever. It's life.
Were you high or drunk?
No, I was very sober.
Did you drink it?
No. Spat it out. I feel like for him it might have been like a dominance thing, because he was very dominant in the bedroom. So, and that's whatever. I don't give a
You don't mind it?
No, you can throw me around. I'm cool with that. Sounds like a good time to me. But I was cool with trying. I'm cool to try anything, at least 3 times.
Wow, but that one you only try it at one time?
Yes.
Shit, girl.
One and only. That and anal. Like, I'm not doing with the right person. But to just be out here giving everybody my ass, that's crazy. I can't do that.
Like you can't give everybody a pussy?
No, we got to be like married or something. But ass is different. Like, that's a different level. That's definitely a different level of trust. So I feel like...
Which one is more important, the ass or the vagina?
I feel like they're equally as important, but the pain is not the same.
Okay. The pain. Yeah. How do you know? You never tried it though.
That sounds painful. Like, what do you mean?
Try at least once or 3 times, like you say.
Yeah. If I'm married to someone, definitely, I'll consider that. But just out here f***ing and like, you can, no. Okay. Cool. I actually had a friend, she dated a guy and they tried anal, and he, like, after that, that's all he wanted. Like,
he's gay.
He was gay. Literally after, so she cheated on him, but like, I don't blame her, because like, he wasn't even fucking her. He just wanted her to like play with his ass. Weird shit, right? So she cheated. He found out. They broke up. And then like 2 months later, he's like with a guy, and that's how she found out. But like, honestly, you should have known. You should have known. I'm pretty sure he got married to a guy.
For real?
Yeah. Good for him, whatever. But still.
Yeah, that's some gay tendency. If you're trying to f*** it out.
But it was like nonstop. Like, that's all he wanted. I'm not saying like, if you want to try anal, sure. But if that's all you want, like, you don't even want like anything vaginal. Like, you're just like disregarding that. Like, you want this girl to like play in your ass, eat your ass. Like, there's nothing else going on. Like, it's all ass and anal. That's all he wanted. And so, but yeah, he ended up being with a man, which good for him. I'm glad he found himself and he's comfortable enough to share that with the public, you know. Because I feel like as a man, it's even harder to share stuff like that. Like, if it's just like you enjoy anal, so, you know, you tried it once, maybe you do it here and there, but no, that's all he wanted. That and his ass ate.
And no bitch is getting my ass ate. No bitch playing with my ass. Leave it alone. That's for poop. Okay?
But like, would you eat ass? So is that something that you would do?
It depends. You know, if you clean, you know.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
That was a woman, right?
No.
A man?
It was a man.
Yeah.
He seemed like he enjoyed it, but honestly, low-key, he might be gay too. And I'm just saying that because he had some tendencies, you know?
Focus on my dick. That's the best part, I think, you know? Slap
it depends on the person.
Flip it. Yeah, I know. But ass? Yeah. Imagine. Yeah, I'm going to fart on you if you're eating my ass.
That is insane. Honestly, I would like hit the I would kick you in your chest. Stand up, elbow in the chest. Cause why would you do that?
Nah, man. Yeah, I don't like playing with my booty, you know.
I don't either. I'm not with that.
Yeah.
No. Now, if it's what my person prefers, then I'll definitely like give that to you. But for me, yeah, don't touch my ass, bro. You're weird.
Knowing that if your person prefers that, yeah, he gay.
I mean, it could be a woman though. But I've met men who enjoy stuff like that.
Stuff like what?
Like having their ass played with. Honestly, okay, so when I met him, he was a virgin. And I feel like for him, everything was just exciting. So he was down for everything, like at any time. It didn't matter where the f we were. So for him, I feel like it was just all exciting and new. And that was cool for me too, because I got to teach him and show him stuff, and I enjoyed it. I feel like for him, that's why it was a thing of he was down to try it. He was interested in it because he had never f***ed anyone before.
Did you feel some type of way on that?
First, I mean, I didn't really feel any type of way about it, but I will say I feel like I would never want to be with a virgin again.
Why?
There's an emotional thing there.
What do you mean?
I feel like it's a thing. Like, you have emotions for this person. You're always going to remember them. Like, this is the first person I had sex with. We shared these experiences, stuff like that.
On your part or their part?
Their part. And I don't want to be that person unless you are my person till the end. Because, I don't know. I just don't want to hurt anyone in that way.
So you've been breaking hearts, huh?
Not intentionally, but it's happened. Damn. It's something that I try to prevent for sure.
So is that guy still calling you? Trying to get like some from you?
We don't talk.
Oh,
actually, we haven't talked for a few years.
How long was it? How long ago was it? Like, were you guys young, like 18, 19?
We started dating. I was 18.
Okay, we're young.
Yeah, and we dated for a few years. So. Yeah.
So when did you lose your V card?
I think I was 17. Which honestly, I still feel like, looking at it now, I feel like that's too young. I really do. I feel like it's not okay. Like, if my 17-year-old daughter came to me and was like, "Mom, I'm
what would you say though?
I would be pissed.
Mom, the dick is good. Yeah. I'm gonna keep on f***ing it.
But yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't be pissed. Like, actually, I feel like it would make me feel some type of way, but my first response would be like, okay, well, let's make sure that you're protected and you're safe, and make sure that it was something that you wanted, and we'll move from there, because they're going to look either way, Doesn't matter when or how, they're going to do it.
Are you going to teach her to suck some dicks too?
You might have to figure that out the hard way. I did.
How did you figure that shit out?
What do you mean?
How did you know? How did you find out, like, how to do it?
Have you ever heard, I think it's a song, actually. It said something like, what do you mean you can't cook? Your mama didn't teach you how to suck dick, but you can suck dick. Yeah. So, like, what do you mean? You figure that shit out. Okay. Trial and error. We all got to start somewhere.
That's crazy.
If your mother is sitting you down teaching you how to suck dick, that's a different conversation. Like, I'm concerned. I don't think I would ever be that comfortable with my kids to be like, and this is how we do it. I don't think that would happen. Maybe I could direct them to like a good porn or something. Like, hey man, check this out. Free time, not when I'm around. Make sure everyone's out of the house. But nah.
So you watch adult movies too?
I've watched porn before. It's not something that I watch all the time. I have watched it. I think everyone has. Everyone's been curious. Now, some people, they're curious and then they're addicted.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be an issue.
Yeah.
Especially going into relationships, Like, some women are insecure when it comes to that. Some women don't give a f***. Some women will sit down and watch it with you. But I would actually question if you're dating a man or a woman and they're just consistently watching porn to the point where it's like they're hiding and watching it, or they're just like free time watching it. Like, how many times are you gonna like go in there and do this shit? That's a little concerning,
So you'll be concerned if they're watching it, they're not sleeping with you? Or let's say they're watching it, but they're still sleeping with you? I
would say both, because if you're watching it so much, what are you watching it so much for? Like, I get it can bring pleasure to you, but are you not getting pleasure from what we're doing or seeing me? I feel like that's how a woman would view it, and I mean, that's how I would view it, because you're watching it a lot. Like, if you watch it, cool. But if you were just watching this shit like it's a regular Netflix series, like, we have fucking issues. That's not okay. It's not. And then again, if you're watching it that much, and say you're just masturbating while you're watching it to this excessive like point, you're not gonna have the energy or like time to me, because your time is now fulfilled with like online fantasies, and that's not okay. So clearly there's an issue there, I would say, in the relationship, whether it's intercourse, emotionally, whatever. There's a problem there that needs to be talked about.
How long should sex last for you? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Long enough for me to nut.
So let's say you nut in 5 minutes, that's good?
Sure. If you can make me nut in 5 minutes, you're a fucking pro. Honestly, you got some tricks that you've been fucking. You know what the you do? 5 minutes for a woman, you're doing great.
I know. You're a pro. You need a PhD in that, department.
No, honestly, if a woman is reaching her climax or not, it has to do with the woman and how open she is, because we can literally just say no and just shut that shit off. Like, you're not getting this, and stop ourselves. And so it has to do with like how comfortable she is with you. And if you can talk to her and help her be more open with you and kind of talk her through it, because having an orgasm is very overwhelming. And so, and if that woman's not able to relax her body enough to just let it go, it's not going to happen.